What's going on, guys? The SSN back again with another video, and today we're talking about the top 5 positions of need for the Miami Dolphins coming into this offseason period. If you are new to the channel, do me a big favor, subscribe down below. We're pushing towards that first 1,000 subs, first big milestone on the channel, and with that comes a lot of benefits for you guys, including merch. So if you're interested, hit that bell icon for notifications so you don't miss one step this offseason. And also, do me a huge favor, go like the video. Liking the video helps out the YouTube algorithm do its thing so that this video gets advertised to a bunch of other people who are interested in NFL content just like you. And last but not least, guys, we did start an Instagram. Check the description. The link is down there. It's at the SSN official. If you want to go check it out for daily NFL content every single day, posting something new, whether that's rumors, trades, mock draft stuff. I mean, there's tons of content to be found for you, even if you're not just a Dolphins fan. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into the video, and that's starting out with the number 5 position that the Dolphins need in this offseason period, and that's going to be safety. Now, I've seen a lot of rumors talking about maybe the Dolphins making a splash in free agency and going after Justin Simmons, who I think would be a great fit in Miami. It's really just a matter of moving the money around because he probably will demand a higher price tag. He is a ball hawk. He gets interceptions. He breaks up passes. He's good tackling. I mean, he does everything that you want a safety to do, and he's also young, and those are the reasons why I think he's going to be more expensive than some other options. Maybe if the Dolphins look towards the draft, we've got guys like Trayvon Moehrig, Javon Holland. I mean, there's plenty of options in the draft where the Dolphins can really bolster up their safety position. Now, understand that if we do pick up a safety, whether that's in free agency or the draft, we can cut Bobby McCain loose and save some money in the process. So if we pick someone up in the draft, we can save some money by getting rid of Bobby McCain, and then we can also develop somebody who's really kind of just that safety. He's not a cornerback transfer. He is a safety. That's what he does. That's what the Dolphins need, and that's why that's our number 5 position. So the number 4 position that the Dolphins should be focusing on this offseason period is defensive line. The 2020 NFL season showed a lot for the Miami Dolphins defensive line. I think we really did struggle to defend against the run a lot. That was something that consistently was there all year long. And along with that, our pass rush was pretty inconsistent. We had guys like Emmanuel Ogbah who did record 9 sacks, but after him, we're really kind of looking at Jerome Baker, Kyle Van Noy, our other, pass rusher that we picked up in free agency last year in Shaq Lawson only recorded 4 sacks. I've seen a lot of mock drafts projecting Gregory Rousseau to the Dolphins at number 18, and I don't hate that option. I don't hate that pick. I actually like it, but I think with drafting someone like Gregory Rousseau, you have to keep in mind that he is a developmental player. He is not a guy who's going to come out year one and make a huge splash in the NFL. I think he is definitely more of a guy who you're going to have to give a year or two to really develop and understand the game and work on his technique, because Rousseau at this point in his career really relied a lot on that athleticism and his strength and just his raw talent to get him through. Whereas in the NFL, he's really going to have to improve his technique and his mechanics in order to succeed at the next level. There's also some options in free agency, but they are expensive. You're looking at guys like J.J. Watt, Yannick Ngakoue, those types of guys who are going to demand higher salaries, and I just don't think that the Dolphins are going to be pursuing more expensive defensive players. I think especially after last year with all the money we shelled out, that's just not something that to me seems very realistic. So I think we're looking more towards the draft, and there are plenty of edge rushers. There are plenty of defensive linemen who have lots of talent. So I'd like to know from you guys, who would you like us to choose from the defensive line in this year's draft? Comment that down below, guys, and let's go ahead and get into our number 3 position of need. So our number 3 position of need coming into this offseason is running back. As we all know, our running game over the last handful of years has been absolute garbage. Yeah, it's been bad, like really bad. Last year, Ryan Fitzpatrick led the team in rushing. This year, it was Myles Gaskin. With the injury, I understand that he was hurt a lot, but only rushed for 584 yards, if I'm not mistaken, and that's flat out just not going to cut it for an NFL team. We need someone who's going to be able to do more in the running game, and someone who's also going to be versatile enough for Tua to dump the ball off to in the passing game. If you watched my last video talking about the guys that the Dolphins should specifically focus on in free agency, I listed Aaron Jones as my 5th guy that we should look at. But if you don't like Aaron Jones, that's okay, because there are plenty of options in free agency and in the draft. There are a lot of running backs that we have to choose from. Looking towards the draft, Najee Harris is a great running back. I really, really like him out of college. Even though he doesn't have that top end speed, I don't think he's ever going to be that guy who's going to break off for, 50, 60 yards on any given down, but he is a consistent 5 to 6 yard carrier, and I think that is extremely valuable. We're also looking at guys like Travis Etienne, who has that big play type potential, very good in the passing game, solid rusher. I think he really has like that Pro Bowl to all pro type potential, almost like a Christian McCaffrey type build, or Alvin Kamara is a really great comp for him. We have a lot of different options that we could go in to address the rushing game. So I want to know from you guys down below, comment down below, would you rather us pay the money out to someone who's established right now, or would you rather us wait towards the draft and pick up a very young talent with lots of potential and who's going to be extremely cheap? Let me know down below, and let's go ahead and move into our number 2 position of need. So number 2 for the Miami Dolphins is offensive line. Now, to get a little bit more specific, instead of just blanket stating, oh, it's the offensive line that we need, I think center is our most important position of need, especially with Ted Karras coming off the books. We need a center, and we need someone who's going to be solid all around. We've got a lot of young talent on this offensive line with guys that have tons of potential. Austin Jackson, Solomon Kinley, Robert Hunt, those 3 guys have lots of potential, but they're also a little bit raw and need that development. So getting a center who is established, getting a center who is solid and ready to go, and who can immediately anchor that offensive line, I think that is absolutely paramount for the Dolphins. I think that's something we need to do. And I think at this point, drafting another young offensive lineman probably isn't the way to go. So I would much rather see the Dolphins target somebody in free agency. And like I had mentioned in my previous video, someone like Corey Linsley would be an amazing option for Miami, but there are also other centers if you don't want to dish out that big salary to probably one of the best centers in the entire league. But nonetheless, offensive line, and in particular center, is a massive need for Miami. And as our guys that are young continue to develop, we could have a really, really good offensive line on our hands, but I think we really, really need that center up the middle to help bolster the offensive line and really command our guys and be the leader of that unit. All right, our number 1 position of need is, no surprise, wide receiver. I think it is absolutely clear that the Dolphins need to get a wide receiver or 2 on this team in order to succeed offensively. Now, it's not to say that our guys are bad right now, because I actually think that the wide receivers that we have on our roster are talented. They are good wide receivers. The problem is they just can't stay on the field. Devontae Parker has had 1 healthy season. Preston Williams has had 0 healthy seasons. Albert Wilson consistently hurt. Allen Hurns consistently hurt. Jakeem Grant gets hurt quite a bit too. Really, the only receiving target that we have that doesn't consistently have injury problems is Mike Gesicki. Tua needs more consistent options, guys who are going to stay on the field. I don't think the talent is lacking. And certainly when Fitzpatrick was in the game, nobody complained about the lack of weapons. Nobody complained that there were not enough pieces, there weren't enough receivers or enough talent on the field to succeed. That argument wasn't there. But yet when Tua was on the field, that was the big argument. And I think it's the wrong type of argument. I think what we need to focus on are guys who are not going to be hurt all the time. Now, we've talked about this in another video on what the Dolphins should do at the number 3 overall position. And really, personally, in my opinion, I think we should go with Jamar Chase. And the reason for that is because you have Jalen Waddle, who does have the injury history. He missed most of this last season with the ankle injury. And then looking past him at Devontae Smith, he's an excellent receiver, and he had a great year in college. He was phenomenal, and there are very few things about him that I don't like. But the main thing that I struggle with when I look at Devontae Smith is he is very, very thin. He's super small framed, and if he bulks up, he'll lose the speed that he has. But if he stays at the weight class that he's at right now, I think that opens him up for a potential of getting injured. So that's our number 1 position of need, wide receiver, and we could also address some of it in free agency. Now, there are a lot of big names coming out in free agency, a lot of big names, and they're going to demand lots of money. But there are guys that we could also approach who are a little bit more under the radar, maybe might not get as much attention. Curtis Samuel comes to mind, and I mentioned him in my previous video. I think he would be an excellent option for Miami to approach in free agency because Tua really needs that slot. Tua really needs the guy in the slot who he can use as a safety blanket and just dump the ball off to if nothing's developing, or if he has to get out of the pocket, or he needs to get the ball out of his hands quickly. He needs that safety net. He needs the guy who he can depend on a down-to-down basis, and someone like Curtis Samuel I think would be an excellent option. So I'd like to know from you guys, who are your top wide receiver targets, whether that's in free agency or the draft? Who are the guys that you absolutely think the Dolphins have to take, have to pick up, have to pay? Regardless, let me know down below, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it in the comments section. So that's the video today, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for all the support, and like I said, subscribe down below. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss a step this offseason, and also like the video for the YouTube algorithm, so it can pump it out and reach some other people who are interested in this type of content just like you. Also, check the Instagram in the description down below, daily NFL content. I'm really pumped about it. We just got to get the followers up, man. I'm at like 15. Help me out. Do me a big favor. Go follow the Instagram down below in the description. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the support. Y'all have a great day, and I'll catch you very soon with another video. Take it easy, guys, and as always, fins up.